come into a comfortable seated pose for a nice, chill class. A nice, chill, relaxing class today. So let's settle into our seat. Let's start off by looking around, just getting into our senses. So let's look with our eyes and look physically at our surroundings. And now soften all the tissue around your eyes. Make your eyes nice and soft. We're going to start relaxing all the little muscles. And now let's take our hands and rub them together. And let's make little cups with our hands and put them over our eyes. So don't squish your eyeball, don't touch your eyeball. Make the little cup so that it's round. So then look inside the inside of your hands, the palm of your hand. And we're just going to do some eye rotation just to start relaxing our whole body. So let's look to the right, inhale, and then exhale to the left. Let's go back and forth at your own pace. And one last one. And now let's look up, inhaling up. Make sure you're not moving your head. And last one. Let's do 3 circles clockwise. And then reverse, counterclockwise. And 3. And now just look at the inside of the palm of your hand. Just soften your eyes and look gently. Let's do 10 deep breaths looking into the inside of our palms. Soften your eyes even more. And on your 10th breath, softly close your eyes and then bring your hands down to your knees. And let's bring our attention to our hearing, just the different sounds in our environment. And now see if you can soften your hearing. Let your ears relax. Maybe you can loosen your jaw. Now let's bring our attention to the gravity. Wherever you're feeling gravity. All right, we're going to play a little game with our sits bones. We're going to lean over onto our right sits bone and just feel our weight on the right sits bone. So it's just a little rolling over. And then we're going to do a little circle. Let's start clockwise, going in a little circle around just the right sits bone. So feel all the flesh around the right sits bone, the tissue. Inhaling forward, exhale back, and let's reverse. Inhaling forward, exhale back. One more. Just feeling gravity on the right sits bone. And then come to center and just feel what centered feels like. And let's roll over to the left sits bone. Just feel it, press it into the ground. And then let's do a little circle, starting clockwise, just around the left. Exhale back, inhale forward. Feeling all the tissue, and then let's reverse the circle just around the left sits bone, the bony protrusion from the bottom of the hip. And now we're going to do figure eight. So we're going to come around the left and then come to the front of the right, come around the back of the right sits bone to the center, and then come around the top. So making a little figure eight with your sits bones. Feeling gravity, feeling all the tissue. And now let's reverse our figure eight. One more figure eight here. Inhaling forward, exhale back. And then come and sit in the middle of your sits bones. Try to line up your whole spine nice and tall. You can drop your chin a little bit. Let's do 10 deep belly breaths, breathing into the lowest part of the belly. Now let's slow them down a little bit more for the second half of them. All right, let's make our last deep belly breath the biggest one yet. Let out a sigh. All right, bring your hands together over the heart center and let's set an intention for our practice today. And now let's begin with an Om. Inhale. Om. Wonderful. Okay, drop your hands and let's inhale forward. Exhale back, making a big circle around our sits bones. So we've been warming up the sits bones. We're working on grounding today. So grounding is all about feeling the connection with the ground, the earth. So as you go around, really feel the tissue connecting with your cushion. Let's reverse. Inhaling forward. Exhale back. You can start opening your chest as you come forward, bring the shoulders apart, and then exhale, bring the shoulders together around the back. Inhaling, opening the chest. Exhale, closed it. All right, one more. Wonderful. We're going to spread the legs open into a big, wide V. And we're going to take our arms open, opening the chest up, doing a little back bend, lifting the head, looking up. We're inhaling up. And then exhale, the hands on each side of the right leg. Really fold over, and then inhaling up. Exhale your hands on either side of the left leg. So we're opening the chest here, opening the neck, and then exhaling down and starting to get a hamstring stretch. So you can move as slowly as you want to. Opening and exhaling down. If your hamstrings feel very tight, you can put a block under each of your knees so that it's not as much of a strong stretch. Each time you come down, feel another part of your back lengthening. Each time you come up, open your chest even more. All right, one more on each side. Wonderful. Come to center. You're going to take out your blocks if your blocks are there, and then we're going to rotate the ankles. So let's make big circles with our ankles, with our toes going around counterclockwise. Inhaling, exhaling. And let's reverse. Just opening up our ankles and our legs. And then let's point the toes away from our face and then bring the toes towards our face. Move with your breath. And now let's squeeze our toes together into little fists and then stretch them out, squeeze, and let them out strongly. Moving, bringing blood flow into the toes. Okay, now we're gonna bring the right foot towards our right sits bone, bring it in, and then we're gonna drop the knee towards the middle line. And open the knee and then bring it out. So our hands are up in the air or on our shoulders so that we don't use the hands. The hands are cheating. So we drop the knee on the left side, lift the knee open. So let's inhale the leg in, exhale, drop the knee, inhale the knee up, exhale the leg out, bring in the other leg. So moving with the breath, strengthening our psoas. No hands. Strengthening our hips. All right, one more on each side. All right, we're gonna now bring our feet in front of us, bend the knees, and keep your feet a little wider than your hips. So we're gonna drop the knees over to the right, inhale, and then drop them over to the left, exhale. So your knees are in two right angles, and the heel is about 6 inches from the knee on each side. So if you find yourself traveling forward, you can take your block behind you and push yourself up on the block so that you don't travel. Again, no hands. So if this is too easy for you and you want a little extra challenge, next time you drop your knees over to the right, come up on the right shin bone, using your hips to push yourself up, and then drop the knees over to the left. Push yourself up onto your left shin bone. So you're using your glutes to push yourself up. So now if you're doing this modification, inhale up, exhale down. Let's do one more on each side. All right, great. So we're gonna do, whenever you're ready, we're gonna come into butterfly. So let's take our block, if you have one, and bring it in between our feet. And we're gonna squeeze the block together. Okay, so squeezing the block. And if you want to, you can bring your other block. If you have two blocks, you can bring the other block behind you and push on it so you don't fall over. Keep your body from slumping. So you want to have your spine straight. And so we're going to squeeze the block and do 10 deep inhales and exhale through the nose. Squeeze the block. Squeeze it more. Try to smile. All right, 9 and 10. Squeeze it. And now take the block out and bring the feet together and see if you really, really opened up those inner thighs. You can take your hands to your toes. Wiggle a little bit. You can fly your butterfly. Fly, fly, butterfly. And then let's take the feet apart like a little book, pressing the blades of the foot together. All right, beautiful. So we've been doing a lot of leg stuff. So let's go ahead and just fold the legs and let's do some arm work. So we're gonna start, if you have a block, we're gonna take it and we're gonna squeeze the block, lifting the arms up. Exhale down. So getting some blood flow into the shoulders. If you're using a book, don't drop this on your head. All right, beautiful. One more. All right, let's take our strap and open it up if it's in a nice little circle. Let's wrap the strap next to the buckle in one hand. And then we're going to take the hand and slide it across and then wrap it in here. So you want the strap a little bit wider than your shoulders. So adjust it, and you want to have your hands wrapped. Okay, wrapping your hands will allow you to use less grip strength. So once you have it up, we're going to inhale up, and we're going to exhale over to the right side. Inhale up, and then exhale to the left side. So we're just doing a nice side body stretch. Use that breath to open the ribs. And if your legs are getting cramped, you can let one leg out or both of them. Just don't, whatever is comfortable with your legs right now is fine. All right, let's do one more on each side. And then let's set the strap aside so that we can shake out the hands. So let's do a little hand opener. So take your hands in front of you and just flop them, stretching through the fingers as strongly as possible, getting a lot of good strength through the fingers. And then let's do little waves. Hi, everybody. And then little karate chops. So karate chops, the hand blade is in line with the wrist. So we're working the edges of our wrist here. And now we make little fists and little opens. Open the fist. and then we'll shake them out. Okay, so keeping your wrist strong, wrist strong is very important. We're gonna grab our strap and we're gonna open up our shoulders. So let's take the buckle of the strap in the right hand, drop it between the shoulder blades. I'll turn around so you can see what this looks like. And then take the other hand, so this is my left hand now. I'm rotating the thumb under. I'm coming around and grabbing the strap wherever I can, okay? And then I'm gonna pull the right shoulder up towards the sky and the left elbow down towards the ground. So the right elbow is going up and the left elbow is going down. So if you can bring your hands together and touch them, go ahead. Otherwise, use the strap. So sharply lifting the elbows in opposite directions and pull apart. So we're gonna do 10 deep breaths here to really open up the shoulders. Use the breath. Press your head into your forearms so you don't fall forward, but also don't do a back bend. So try to be straight over those sits bones, just like we did in our practice. Nine. And 10th breath, make the biggest one yet. All right, come down very slowly, bringing your right arm out and then your left arm out. All right, let's shake out the shoulders a little bit. Okay, wonderful. Now let's take the strap part next to our left hand, okay? Bring that and drop it in between the shoulder blades. And then taking the right hand, I'll show you from the back, rotating the thumb under and then bring it up and grab the strap. Or if you can touch your hands together, go ahead and do that. So we're pressing the right elbow down and the left elbow up. The head is pressing into the forearm. So see how my back is completely straight? Instead of, if you slump over, this is not helping. And if you do a big back bend, you're also not really getting into opening the shoulders. So you really want to have a straight spine sitting over your sits bones. So let's do 10 deep breaths together, using the breath to open up. All right, and our 10th breath, make it the biggest one yet. All right, slowly unwrap your hands. Oh, coming out. Oh boy. Whew. All right, shake out the arms. Yeah, that's tough. Okay, we're gonna do one more shoulder opener here. So we're gonna take the right arm across the body and capture it with the left elbow. So the left forearm is coming up, and try to keep the right arm as straight as possible. If that elbow is bent, it doesn't really help the shoulder. If it's like extremely tight, you can have the arm out further. So I'll come up so you can see. So if it's really tight, you could have the arm out further, or you can have it closer if it's not as tight. So these are a few different angles, so you can just see what it looks like. All right, so once you have it captured properly, let's do 10 deep breaths. Remember, you can always stretch out your legs if your legs are getting cramped. So the legs are whatever is comfortable. All right, on our 10th breath, make it the biggest one yet. All right, great. Come out slowly. It's a big stretch. Shake out the arms. Whew. Yeah, you can shake out the wrists. Let's take the legs out and just bring the feet back and forth. I'll show you from the side. So if it's easier on the ground, so you don't get, calluses on your heels, just stretching out the legs. Okay, you can shake out the feet. Let's do the other side. So let's take the left arm across the body, capture the arm with the right elbow, the inside of the right elbow, so that left arm needs to be straight. If it's just so tight, then you can have it out a little bit, but don't bend the elbow. Keep the arm as straight as possible. Let's do 10 deep breaths. You really breathe into the ribs to open up the shoulders. All right, 9. And on our 10th breath, make it the biggest one yet. All right, great. Oh, shake out the arms. All right, we're gonna lay on our back and open up the hamstrings using our strap. So have the strap nearby. Also make sure you have space overhead so you're not running into a wall. I'm gonna use my blanket as a pillow. It's optional. So we're gonna start off with some dynamic hamstring warm-up and shoulder warm-up, lifting the right leg and the left arm, the left leg and the right arm. So we're gonna inhale up, exhale down. So it's always important to do some dynamic warm-ups before we jump into really heavy-duty static stretching. All right, we're gonna do one more on each side. Beautiful. Now grab your strap and we're gonna do the right leg first. So wrap the strap around the ball toe of the foot. Make sure that you wrap your hand in the strap so you're not just holding on to the strap. So wrap the hands and then we're going to press the foot away from our face. So when we press the foot into the strap versus pulling the strap towards our face, we're isometrically contracting the muscle of the hamstring and the calf. So feel the difference. Go ahead and try to pull the strap towards your face and feel what's going on with your hamstring. And now press the strap the foot into the strap away from your face. You can see you're engaging the hamstrings here, which is going to give you a much better stretch. So you want to be doing 30 to 40% of maximum, not 100%. So 30 to 40% we're going to be holding for a minute. So let's breathe through the nose gently. Letting your head just rest on the ground. Breathe into the lowest part of your belly. So my left leg is just laying on the ground, enjoying resting. All right, let's do one more deep breath. And then we're going to switch legs, bringing the left foot into the strap, pressing the foot away from our face. We're stay here for a full minute, so make sure you're comfortable, your arms are straight, you're not using your biceps. Breathe into the lowest part of your belly with long, deep, slow breaths through the nose. All right, do one more deep breath. Beautiful. Take your foot out of the strap. You can set the strap aside. Let's just lay here for a moment and feel the change on our body. You can close your eyes. Wonderful. We're going to do a little foot rotation in our hip socket. So inhaling the feet apart from each other, exhale them towards each other. So going back and forth, alternating which foot is on top. So we're basically rotating the femurs in the hip socket. All right, one more. And then just lay again and feel your heart beating. You have your eyes open or closed. All right, one more deep breath. We're going to flip over onto our belly. You can just take a look at me if you want to see where we're going. So we're going to lay on our belly and work on cobra and sphinx. So sphinx looks like this. So we're going to work on that, but we're first going to come and lay down. So just come on down and make a little pillow with your hands. And we're going to walk our elbows forward, bringing our ribs up to the top or higher. And then we're going to walk our pelvis down. So we're going to stretch our full belly on the ground. And you can just rest. There's nothing to look at right now. Rest your head on your hands and feel your full belly stretched out on the ground. The full entire belly. Let's do 10 deep belly breaths. So our whole body is crushing our lungs right here. So it's very challenging to breathe into our belly. And that makes our lungs stronger. We're using the resistance of our body to make our lungs stronger. And on your 10th breath, make it the biggest one yet. And hold for 2 seconds. And then exhale fully exhale all the way out. On your next inhale, bring your head up and then turn your arms, making your forearms into little railroad tracks. And we're going to look up and do 10 deep breaths, looking up, just starting to get into our little back bend in Sphinx pose. So the elbows are bent in Sphinx. Use that breath to open up the muscles. You can press into the ground with your forearms, pressing the elbows apart. All right, on your 10th breath, let's hold for 2 seconds at the top. And then slowly come down, make a little pillow with your hands. Bring the ribs forward. So you're really, really stretching out the belly, and then bring the pelvis down. So settle your head on your hands. You can rock out the hips. Let's breathe into our belly. Let's do 10 deep breaths into the lowest part of our belly. We're working on our lung capacity here. Breathing through the nose. And on our 10th breath, let's take 2 seconds at the top of the inhale. Sigh out. All right, we're going to come back up. So you can stay in Sphinx if you want to, which is laying on your elbows or your forearms. Or you can press up into a little cobra. Let's look up and do 10 deep breaths. So whichever one you're in, 10 deep breaths, and press your pubic bone and your toes into the ground to release your lower back. On your 10th breath, we're going to hold for 2 seconds. Ready? All right, beautiful. So come on down. You can make a little pillow, shake out your hips. And then we're going to push yourselves up into a table. So in a table, you can have a blanket underneath your knees if it feels better on your knees. Otherwise, you don't need that. So we're going to come into a table and we're going to do a little cat-cow. So we're going to inhale up, looking up, untucking the tailbone. And then we're going to exhale, tucking the tailbone under, pressing our forehead towards the tailbone, towards the pubic bone. Bringing our pubic bone and our forehead towards each other, pushing through the shoulder blades, pushing up as your exhale. And then slowly unfurl, untucking the tailbone, lifting the head. So go back and forth at your own pace. Make sure every part of your spine is being articulated. Press into the ground firmly with your entire palm. All right, do one more. All right, beautiful. Then come into a neutral table, and we're going to do a little hunting dog, a dynamic hunting dog, which is lifting your arm and your leg at the same time. So we'll start off by lifting our right arm, our left arm up, and our right leg. So press through the heel, which will strengthen and engage your hamstring. That's your inhale, stretch through the arms, and then exhale down. And now lift the right arm and the left leg. Really push through the heel, engaging the glute. Exhale down. So move at your own pace, but try to move slower than you normally would. And really engage the glute, engage the shoulder. So we're alternatively lifting the arm and the leg. And when you come down slowly, because on the way down you're still using muscles, and you want to really make sure that you're engaging as many muscles as possible. So we're keeping our core very steady. Which is strengthening our core, engaging the lower belly, strengthening our glutes, our hamstrings. This may in fact be the perfect yoga pose. Perfect yoga multitasking. Your shoulders are strengthening. All right, one more on each side. Let's try to make it the slowest one yet, really pushing through the heel, extending through the fingertips. Slow, slow, slow on the way down. Other side, very, very slow. All right, wonderful. So we're gonna come and lay on our back and do a bridge, a dynamic bridge. So when you're doing bridge, you don't wanna have anything under your head, okay? So if you have any blocks on your mat, please take them off. And we're going to do a dynamic bridge, continuing to open up the spine. So the perfect position for bridge is your fingers can touch your heels. But if this hurts your lower back, you can walk your feet away from the hips. So it's a little bit wider of a back bend. So find which way feels best. So we're gonna lift the hips 1 inch, inhaling up, and then exhale, bring them down. And as you bring them down, massage your lower back. So coming up 2 inches, exhale down. Massage the lower back on the way down in your entire spine. 3 inches, rolling up the spine, lifting the hips. And on your way down, massage every vertebrae. Pushing up 4 inches. Exhale down slowly. Massage your spine. So we're really engaging all the muscles of the back because we're going so slow. You're not using momentum here. And when you move this slowly, you're strengthening and making your spine stronger. So now let's go all the way up, very, very slowly. And when you get to full extension, or as high as you can go, let's take our hands and wrap the hands, fold the fingers together, and then walk the shoulder blades towards each other, pressing the heels away, pressing into the ground with the heels, and the knees towards the wall in front of you. Lift the hips towards the ceiling. Let's do 10 deep breaths here. Big, big belly breaths. All right, 9. Now on your 10th breath, hold for 2 seconds at the top. Biggest breath yet. And now we're going to descend very slowly. Unhook your hands, walk your shoulder blades apart, and then just come down very, very slowly, massaging each part of your vertebrae, each part of your spine as you come down. And then when you finally are all the way down, just rest for a moment. All right, beautiful. All right, we're gonna come into a happy baby. So taking the feet up, you can bring the heels next to the sits bones, and let's rock back and forth across the two sides of our glutes. We did a lot of hip work today, so this should feel nice, decompressing. Then bring the feet right above the belly button. And then bring the feet near the face. So every time you move your feet up and down, you get into a different part of the back. You bring the feet overhead and massage the thoracic, right between the shoulder blades. So you can go up and down your spine, massaging. Just a really nice, feel-good movement. And then let's roll the length of our spine. So taking our toes in front of us, that's your inhale. And then exhale the feet overhead or just as high as you can come. And then if you want to, you can come into a plow pose, which are feet overhead. If this is really challenging, you could bring a bolster behind you and put your feet on that. So that way it's a little easier. Let's do 10 deep breaths. So let's say you can't get into this. What you can do is just stay in a happy baby. Maybe have your head, your hands near your face, but just sort of getting a little bit of an inversion here. So wherever you are, let's do 10 deep breaths. This is again resistance. It's very challenging to breathe, so it's making our lungs stronger. Breathe into the lower belly. All right, 10th breath, let's hold for 3 seconds. Okay, you can roll up into shoulder stand or just come down. Either way is fine. If you come into a shoulder stand, walk your elbows towards each other. Prop up your back with your hands, putting them on your lower back. So if this is not working for you today, what you can do is just come back into a bridge pose. Or if you're just completely tired, you can just lay down and start getting into your Shavasana. Otherwise, let's just do a few deep breaths in shoulder stand. Let's do 5. And 5. Then come on out and we'll lay down in your Shavasana. So if your body needs anything else, any twists, anything else right now, go ahead and do that. If you want to do another happy baby or roll it back and forth, do a little sloppy twist on each side, go ahead. Otherwise, we'll come into a little Shavasana. So I like to use my blanket as a pillow. Stretch out. And feel completely grounded. Let's do 3 physiological sighs, which is a 2-part inhale. And then exhale through the mouth. One more. So if you're able to stay a little longer in Shavasana, I recommend a 7-minute Shavasana if possible. If you're really tight on time, then go ahead and roll over to your right side. And then push yourself up to sit. We'll come and meet in a seated pose. So if you can stay in Shavasana, please just stay there. And wherever you are, if you're seated, or lying down, just remember your intention. Bring your hands to your heart center.